Here's one of the latest interviews from Rock and Metal Revival. If you want to hear the whole show, go to rmrshow.com. That's brand new music from Glenn Hughes' new album called Resonate. It's called My Town right here on Rock and Metal Revival. And, bro, it wasn't that long ago. We were in Chicago seeing Glenn Hughes, and all the way home.
Such a great show. Holy shit.
All we could talk about. We kept saying, we can't wait to talk to him again. Well, we got a chance.
Yeah.
He is on the line with us today, and we want to welcome Glenn Hughes back to Rock and Metal Revival.
I want to thank you guys for having me on the show, simply because my tour of America in August was my first solo tour. I say this chuckling. It's my first ever solo tour, and it was absolutely resoundingly a success. As I trudge across the boards in America, we're doing another 2 tours in the next 12 months in America.
Nice. Awesome.
I would not be surprised if you see me back in the Windy City, simply because of the incredible response we had from the wonderful people in that city. It was so amazing. I want to thank them all for coming. And all those people that weren't there, I'll see you next time.
Yeah, it was, Glenn, the thing that blew me away. It was an experience. It was like a trip through rock and roll history, and you were the captain. It was just amazing. I mean, I left there just in awe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I told Red, I was like, dude, you wait till you hear this guy sing, and you ain't going to believe it. And all the way home, he's going, holy cow. Wow, you were right.
Well, that's so cool. It means so much to me that I translate my music to you people. It really means a lot.
Well, we're really excited about your new solo album called Resonate. How long has this been in the works, Glenn?
Oh, I started writing it. Oh, Jesus, one of my dogs is taking a crap. I started writing this album.
They do that a lot.
As I was recovering from double knee replacements early in the year, and I had this free time to write what would be this album you're listening to. When I've got free time, which is not very often, I'm always either in the studio or I'm recording something onto my phone to create, But I had the opportunity to write an album in the spring of this year, I think what you could call focused album of what would be rock songs for rock fans. And not trying to be vintage, because I am vintage. So it's like I just wrote album songs that I know that my fans' kids love this stuff. So, this album was written with rock fans in my head.
Oh, well, you did a good job, because, I've been cranking this thing for the last 3 days, just pounding my head. But you are not only a great singer, but a hell of a bass player. And I had fun watching you with those pedals. What's your favorite bass pedal? Because you used a lot of effects, which were really cool.
Well, I use synth. It's like Digitech. They're a company I've been with for a long time, but they have this one pedal called the synth wah pedal, and it creates that sound you heard. It's either a left-handed, like mini moog sound, or it's very much a wah sound with a synth bass overtone. And I use a Black Cat fuzz overdrive, which really is an extremely loud, resonating sound, which filled up that venue in Chicago for sure.
Well, Glenn, one of the things that I had said to Jerry on the way to the show before the show is I go, I can't wait to hear this band that he's got with him that is going through a career of unbelievable guitarists. And, and your guitar player, who I'd never heard of before, totally blew me away.
Slamming.
Yeah, he's great. Soren's been with me for 10 years. He's great.
Now,
really great guitar player.
And I read that your solo band is also the band that helped you do this new album?
Yeah, it is. I mean, what I decided, guys, on this album, I thought, because now I'm touring all the time now, I said, it's got to be a band that I'm going to be playing live with. Whoever's going to be in the studio with me, I've got to have the same guys on the record, on the road. It's Søren, the guitar player you spoke about, Pontus, the big Swedish drummer, and Lockie, the guy who plays on the album, who wasn't with me in Chicago. He's now coming with me next year. He's starting with me now. So I want this band to be the core of who the Glenn Hughes band is. What I don't want to do, guys, I don't want to change members every 6 months. I just want to keep a family, a family thing going.
Well, that's cool. Now, one of my favorite tunes on the album is Landmines, and the whole reason is because you got a talk box on it, which I haven't heard a talk box in a long time. Have you ever ran?
Long time, right?
Yeah. Have you ever ran your bass through a talk box? See what that's like?
No. I did. I did actually do it. It doesn't. And trust me, you might hear it next time, but I have one, and it's like I'm still messing around with it. It's something that I'm still messing with.
See, that would be cool, and then put some cowbell in there, and
it is.
Yeah, and it would just be that would be it, right?
Yeah, because when we saw Chad Smith was on this album, a guest musician, we thought there'd be a lot of cowbell.
Well, maybe on the next one there will be. I'll have to tell him to bring his cowbell with him.
Well, Glenn, you also mentioned that night at the show that you were working on a new Black Country Communion album. Where do you find time?
I make time. I have been given this gift to freely write music, and I have windows of opportunity to work with other people. Joe has been at my house all week. We're now completing the music for Black Country 4, awesome. Which we will record in LA in January. The album will be out in May. So I really do enjoy working with people I love. I have the choice to do what I do, and I really want to surround myself with loving, nurturing people. And the members of Black Country Communion are family members to me. We've been very, very close for the last 6 years. It's been amazing.
And now I see that, talking about how busy you are, you're heading off to Europe here in November.
Yeah, I'm so busy. It's crazy. I'm home for Christmas, and then, Joe and I get together, around New Year's Eve to finish the album with Derek and Jason, and then we go in on January the 3rd. So, it's all hands to the pump, because next year for me there's another American tour, followed by another European tour, then festivals in both America and Europe, and then Malaysia, and possibly I'm going back to Africa. So
whoa,
it's crazy.
Nice. Now, I read your autobiography recently, and I also read one on Phil Lynott, and you guys both kind of had a thing going with Gary Moore hiding at your place when he quit Thin Lizzy. Now that was how was that?
It was weird because Gary. I was a fan of Gary's, and he was a fan of mine. And when I met Gary in 1980, little did I know that he was about to leave Thin Lizzy. And we were out at dinner, and he said, "Can I stay at your house tonight?" I said, "Sure, why not?" And the next morning he woke up. I said, let me take you back to the hotel." He said, "I'm not going." I said, "Excuse me?" He says, I'm leaving Lizzy." I said, "What?" I said, "What? You're leaving Lizzy? And what are you going to do now?" He says, "Can I stay with you for a couple of weeks?" I said, "Well, what's Phil going to do?" He said, "Don't worry about it." And of course, after the third night, I get a call about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's Phil on the phone. "Hughes, if you've got him over there, I'm going to come over and do a number on you."
Oh, jeez.
Of course.
That's not what you want to hear.
If anybody knew Phil was a lovely, 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 lovely guy, but he had a raging temper. So I said, I don't know where he's at. And the guy's sleeping in the next room. But, yeah, it was a difficult moment for me. Gary did a runner from Thin Lizzy, and Phil was a really good friend of mine. Of course, all was forgiven 10 years later.
Yeah.
But but it was a bit of a scary moment, let me tell you.
You know, Glenn, I've been listening to Burn a lot lately, the CD Burn, and the magic that you and David Coverdale had at that time in Deep Purple. And I just read an article yesterday that David Coverdale says he's not retiring. He's going to keep singing. Is there any thought of you two working together again?
Oh, you know, there has been. You know, David and I spoke 8 years ago about this subject we're talking about. And while John was alive, we said the only way it would really make sense in a grand and glorious fashion would be to do it within the realms of a Deep Purple reunion, because it would get to a lot of people, you know, get to thousands, maybe millions of people. So when John died, and then, you know, we couldn't get anything together with Richie because you can't get Richie on the phone, we just basically hung that idea up. David and I are very, very good friends. It's really close. And we often talk about doing something, but I'm not quite sure we'll ever get to it.
Huh. That would be a cool project, though.
It would, I would really
definitely
dig that.
want to hear that.
But well, you know, you're such a busy man, and this new album's out, and anybody listening in the sound of our voices right now, if you got a chance, Jerry and I can say that was probably our top show of the year. Seeing you at Reggie's, and we were looking.
So sweet.
Yeah,
sure.
It was like a big family. Everybody was having fun.
Everybody was so cool.
You know, and you were having fun, and we are really looking forward to you coming back for another round here in North America.
Pleasure's mine. It was an amazing evening. Again, when I come through Chicago, which isn't very often, it's a special place for me because Purple was so popular there. So to have the room filled with fans on both shows was absolutely astounding. You know, it's truly a place I'll never forget, and I will absolutely 100% be back next year. No question about it.
That's the best news I've heard all day.
Awesome.
Hey, we're going to play another track off for Resonate. This cut is called Heavy, and we've been digging that. And can you tell us a little bit about this song here, Glenn?
Well, you know, I wanted to write a track that was a big groove in the verse and a really big, you know, thing for Chad to groove on. And I wanted the chorus to be a slamming, real, very, very melodic rock chorus. And there was no greater title than to call it Heavy. You know, it is exactly what it is. It's a very, very, very big time chorus sing-along track. I mean, everybody can sing it. It's so damn easy to sing. So, again, key words for me on this album, I wanted to keep it simple. I wanted people to sing these songs. I want people to know that this album is dedicated to all rock fans across the planet.
Outstanding. Awesome. Well, Glenn Hughes, you are a treasure, a rock and roll treasure. We are honored to have you on this show anytime, and we hope to see you back in Chicago in 2017. My
pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for your love and support.
To catch the whole show of Rock and Metal Revival, all you have to do is check it out on these affiliates. Mega Rock Radios on Saturdays from 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and on Uncontrolled Noise Tuesdays at 1 a.m., Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on UncontrolledNoise.com. And make sure that you leave them a message and tell them that you found Rock and Metal Revival on their stations.